Hello, 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 guys. Welcome back. It is I, Sammy the Spooky Saint, your favorite goth church lady. We out here, gang, gang. It actually doesn't help that I say that and I look the way that I do today. I'm giving Chola vibes unintentionally, but I put on this gold lipstick and this is what I ended up with. I didn't want to deal with my hair today. Anyways, that's not important. What is important is that God has been doing some awesome stuff and really just kind of showing me that He is very much still there and He's keeping, like, He's right there with me. And I'll keep the sad stuff out of it because I don't want to focus on it. But God has been doing His thing and just really kind of been inspiring me. And I'm very thankful for what God has been doing in my life. And yeah, I'm really excited to see what God's going to be doing in this next chapter because I picked up my 1 year chip for self sabotage, which is what I'm going to be talking about with you guys today. There's kind of like these two things that the Holy Spirit's really just kind of been putting in my brain, and it's been dripping into my heart like a Brita filter. And I've been really seeing where God has been really just doing some awesome work in my life. And so I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about it a little bit because it's it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So a couple praise reports. Um, well, I guess I told you guys one of them, but one of the praise reports that I have to tell you because I'm stoked about it, and I know that heaven is waiting to just celebrate. Um, that my one friend that I've been praying for quite some time, she's been actually she was a Satanist for a long time, and then all of a sudden she became agnostic, and so she's slowly been starting to kind of come back to God, and all of a sudden she's attending a church now of her own free will. Like, this was her decision, and she's bringing her grandfather, her daughter, who's a small, cute little girl, and I love her so much. That is my niece. She even was a part of this prayer thing for pets, which I thought was super adorable, and I kind of low key want that to happen in my own church if I'm completely honest. But yeah, there's like a bunch of dogs with it, and there's a picture of a cat. It's good time. It's good time. But this was something that she's done of her own volition, and so leaning into leaning into God and stuff like that. We were talking about Bible study setups, and I'm like, I'm gonna help upgrade hers. I'm gonna help upgrade hers. So if you guys have a good link of something that you may wanna, if you think that should be part of her like her Bible setup, please put it in the comment section. But anyways, um, some of the beautiful things about last night, because last night is when I picked up my chip at CR, and which is Celebrate Recovery. Um, Something that has been super awesome about it was that I had, when I was picking up my blue chip, which is the first chip, that surrendering, I felt pretty alone. I just started developing some friendships at church, and excuse me, I'd just been developing friendships that I didn't even know would last. I was hoping that they would last because I really like these people, but I also have been very accustomed to not having friends for long periods of time. Um, it's just kind of been a thing. It was unintentional, but that's just kind of how the cookie kept crumbling. And so and so now, a year later, I had a whole slew of women come and swarm me to hug me to celebrate my 1 year chip. People from the back of the room came all the way forward. All these women just swarmed. And I was so blessed. And I'm so grateful. And so there's like this little speech thing that like they have you do a little bit. It's like it's supposed to be like a minute long. And I think mine was a little bit less than that, I hope. But um God was telling me something, and it's just something I kept hearing in my head. And it was, you get to a point in your life where you stop, or you love God so much that you love God more. Blah, blah, blah. Let me say that again. you love God more than you hate yourself. And I think I left some people a little bit confused because I think people think that I still hate myself, and I don't. I should have been more clear about that. So there's that. But I'm so thankful that that's no longer my story. That's no longer a part of me. That is a old chapter. That that story, that little side storyline is gone. That it finished. It concluded. Um, and so me being able to pick up the self sabotage thing, am I done with it? No, because okay, I got all the thorns out. Now it's time to do the healing and um, realizing that I'm no longer in that situation anymore. And it's so kind of it to me. I kind of call it these spiritual flinches, where we kind of lean into old habits or we lean into these kind of like dark spaces kind of thing because we haven't learned better habits just yet, and so we do these little flinches where maybe we might go back to nicotine because we never found something to replace it, something that's healthier. Maybe we lean into finding something that's similar or adjacent to what we used to do before. For me, it was so prevalent and just my community alone, my community space alone. The reason why I talk about it so much on this channel is because it's such a vital part of the Christian experience. Fellowship is such a key component as far as lifestyle goes. And so what that looked like for me was that I needed to trust my friendships. I'm still learning how to do that. And the biggest uh, battlefield for me, out of all the friendships that I've ever had, the biggest one was self or part of my self sabotage was that or blah, blah, blah. That friendship is my friendship with Danny. And it's not to throw her under the bus or anything like that. She hasn't done anything inherently wrong to make me think that, oh, well, she's not really a friend to me. Like, no, she's been ride or die since day one. It's just that she's not nice to me about it. This isn't a fair weather friendship. This is a real talk, you know, if you're not going to walk with me to Jesus, I'm going to drag you behind me kind of situation. If I have to flick you on your forehead, that's what I'm going to do. And there's been times where I had to like point something out to her too. It's not like it's just one sided. Now she has to flick me on the forehead a lot more times than I have to flick her on the forehead. But that's not the point. Um, I'm stubborn. I don't know what to tell y'all. But the way that the enemy had me questioning my friendship with her this whole time, insane work, insane work. And it's not even backed up by anything, by the way. Like, um, I remember writing in my journal, ironically, the one that she gave me, just how like frustrated and stuff like that I was. But it's just like it's slowly because that friendship is the one that's been helping me break chains. Crazy, I know, big surprise, right? But these things have helped me challenge myself as well as taking off these scales that I didn't realize were over my eyes. All because God ordained that friendship. God knew what he was doing by putting her in my life. And the enemy was just like, no. And I'm just like, nice try. Because every single time that I kept trusting that friendship, I have yet to receive a negative response from that. Even if it's not immediate and stuff, that it's just like, I keep questioning this friendship. Why do I keep questioning this friendship? And it's because it's been doing so much good in my life. And that's how self sabotage works. It makes you think that, oh, because these people were garbage, that all people are going to be garbage to me one day. And I have to just, write it out while I can still benefit from it kind of thing. And it's just like, no, that's not how friendships are supposed to work. Stop it. And lo and behold, God has been showing me otherwise. And I am so blessed in that. Um, but a big thing is just telling yourself to shut up. Stop listening to the lies. And then that leads me to the next thing that the Holy Spirit was telling me: keep swinging your sword. Now, we've talked about the armor of God on this channel, and I'm sure that a lot of seasoned believers are very familiar with the armor of God and how sometimes it's the Bible is referred to as a sword and sometimes it's just a weapon kind of thing. And I like to think of it as like one of those staffs that has like a blade at the end of it, like not a spear per se, but like I can't think of what they're called. But long story short, big old weapon, okay? Big old weapon ready to wreck your life, okay? And that's what I needed to do to not only my flesh, but I needed to do that to the lies of the enemy. And you'll find that the more that you're pursuing God, that you will find that a lot of the lies that the are a lot of the lies that you learn the truth of, all the attacks that you're experiencing in your life is solely to keep you from actually living out what God has planned for you. So he wanted for me to have deep connections that will help me grow closer to him and heal from the things that no longer serve me because they were a tool of the enemy. Then all of a sudden, when I have breakthrough in that sense, or like I finally get the aha moment of, oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing to myself, then all of a sudden I'm experiencing freedom in that respect. And then I'm able to help other people. All of a sudden, my hands aren't tied. I'm able to help the next person get their chains off. I'm helping this person's testimony get that much more enriched. I'm able to speak life into this person, speak life into that person. I want to serve more so that way other people can experience this freedom. And if people ask me this, that, and the other question, that like, boom, I have an answer because God gave me the testimony to back up, He gave me the receipts to show people. And this was coming from somebody who literally thought that I was a burden, I was useless, and I was garbage. All of a sudden, people are calling me a blessing. People are just like, you are so wise. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. Um, all sorts of stuff like that. And it all stems from the fact that God has been speaking life into us this whole time, but we're too busy listening to the death lies that are coming from the enemy. And that is how self-sabotage was keeping me from living out my life. Now all of a sudden I have a YouTube channel, which in a couple months will make it a year. I'm going to have videos that say it's been there for since a year ago. Do you know how wild that is for me? I kept up with something for a year already, and in a couple months I'm going to be reaching another year landmark and stuff. These are things that I am so excited to be able to celebrate. Celebrating with a bunch of women for picking up my 1 year chip. Celebrating with all of you guys that I've did that. And then all of a sudden we're going to be celebrating a year of this channel. And it all stemmed from people speaking life into me. The only reason why I'm still here, by the way, is because people prayed for me. And me trusting that God's going to do what God does best and show up and show out, enacting his will, giving me a second life, giving me a renewed life on top of the one that I'm going to experience in the next life. So, what I would leave with, I hope if you get nothing else from today, that you need to keep swinging your sword until something lands, until that enemy is out of the way. Keep swinging your sword. Then all of a sudden, it's going to be like an anime showdown because you're going to have the freedom now. So lean into that freedom because that freedom has been yours to begin with. You were always meant to have victory as long as you accept it from the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. And it's crazy how Christianity can be such a simple concept, but also so in depth, so deep. I think of people who like break down TV shows and how, oh, well, this is like this and this is like that. And, this goes to show that this person had this emotion in this moment or whatever. Oh, did you see this? Did you know about this? Did you notice this? And stuff like that. I think of those people. And I'm just like, I wonder if that same intention was applied to the Bible. And you kind of see it sometimes of just how intentional God has been this entire time. If you start seeing that in the Old Testament as well as the New and stuff, it just, chef's kiss. It's just so good. It's just so good. But again, you have to look for that truth. So if you are somebody who does not know God, just remember it's so simple. It's so simple. Confess. You're going to confess two things: one, that you are a sinner, and two, that Jesus is Lord. And he's the one that can save you from that sin. and break the curse of sin on your life. And then you're going to repent. And from there, it is by faith, by grace and faith. Those are the two things you need for salvation. And all of a sudden, if you're pursuing God genuinely, truthfully, honestly, you will see progress in a year. In a year, you will see so much progress. And sometimes you may even see it sooner than that. All of a sudden, you're going to be experiencing peace about situations that you thought you would never have peace in. All of a sudden, you feel convicted to forgive this person and be free from that. All of a sudden, you want to serve in church. All of a sudden, you want to do all of these good things in the name of God for genuine reasons. And all of a sudden, your life has changed. You're not the same person anymore. You're a new being. That is the power of Christ. And I have seen it so clearly in my own life in this past year alone. Um, and all of a sudden, I'm at peace with a lot of things that I would not be at peace at before. So don't hold back. Don't hold it back from God. Surrender it. Start surrendering things to God. And as He takes off all of these things that no longer serve you, you find that you're a lot lighter. But more importantly, that all of the things that try to break you down actually ended up making you stronger. Therefore, you're able to help others lift their burdens up to God. So I'm gonna leave that little nugget with you guys. Hopefully, um, you guys got something out of this. Please let me know if you do. Like, share, do all of those cool things. Also, I will be upgrading my stuff, so hopefully, next time the audio will be a lot better. So we're gonna start off with the audio. I'm gonna be getting a new mic for my phone, and then from there we'll see what else I can do with it. So I love you guys. You guys have a good one. Mwah. Bye.